Boy, oh boy.
I can't even look at. This might be the least punchable part of his face I've ever seen.
Dude, he's literally, there isn't an interview that I see him in that doesn't just annoy me. Because
I
I
hate
feel
him.
like
I feel
his
so terrible about
incompetence,
myself, dude.
his incompetence genuinely set us back, what, maybe 2 or 3 or more years? I mean, it's that bad, dude. The quarterbacks that we've passed on, like literally, we had an opportunity to trade up for Justin Herbert. Matt Rhule was like, "Nah, let's go for Teddy." Okay, then we had a chance to draft Justin Fields. Nah, let's
We
not
got
do that
Sammy
either.
D, and it
Sammy
sounds like he
D.
is the one that was leading these charges. They now I feel like he's trying to tone down and temper some of the things that we've heard about him and the way he ran this
Right.
organization, almost like he was just a team player in it. And I gotta say this is I just believe, well, I won't say I just believe. How did so many people in real positions of authority, A, Tepper, B, people who are looking at coaches that are in the business, C, people that are on the bottom dregs of this business, which is the C3 Panthers podcast, myself, I just listen to what other people say half the time and just
Right.
have to trust that they know what the fuck they're talking about. How did we get fooled by this fraud, dude? Fooled. He even in the aftermath of this, he has nothing to say that makes me at any point confident that he could have been successful.
The Bat Daddy was the only one
Yeah,
who,
never
from
trusted
jump,
it.
was not fooled and never trusted him. And then me, like, look, I'm not gonna say I trusted him. I'm saying I gave him an opportunity to
Yeah.
prove to me that's the guy, and I threw my vote of confidence behind him because he was the Panthers head coach. That being said, the moment that I heard that the Panthers had hired Matt Rhule, I'm like, what? Why? Like, it didn't make sense. I wanted Eric Bieniemy. You know that, Tony. I had been pounding the table for Eric Bieniemy for a while. That's a whole nother discussion. But it's just embarrassing, man. And I want you to say that point that you told CK earlier, Tony, before we play these clips. Tell tell everybody what you told me and CK about what the conspiracy might be as to why Matt Rule is
Oh,
making
this
the
is
media
wild.
rounds.
This is wild. I think I got the. So you're wondering, right? Is where has first we've heard nothing from him, right? And rightfully so. You should go and
Right.
spend some time with your family. You should get away from things. But then immediately 2 weeks ago, we started hearing oh, with Nebraska. Oh, Auburn could want him, right? And these jobs is starting to say this is the name, and they've been saying he can get the job, whatever he want. I read this tweet today, and look, I know Pro Football Talk has their share of sensationalism in their blood, but all of a sudden, this kind of clicked for me a little bit. And it said this 6 weeks after being fired by the Panthers, Matt Rhule is suddenly showing up everywhere, which could mean that the college offers aren't showing up the way he had expected. And I tell you, as you listen to these interviews that he's done, I don't blame these colleges for passing on this dude. Is that I think that you get this guy who's a hardworking young man at Temple. Sure, that's great. This is a coach that fits at ECU, my alma mater, and I don't want him. Fuck you. Get away from my team. Don't want you to ruin my shit. But I'm saying this is like, it's not that he's not like, is he a coach that transforms teams? Or is he just a good employee at the end of the day when it comes to college? Nick Saban is a force. You know, other guys are just competent. There's a lot of guys throughout the college ranks that are at mid tier, Mike Houston, that are just good at coaching kids, going on the recruiting trail, giving their fucking sales pitch or whatever. maybe he's just okay. And I tell
Or
you
maybe
this,
he's not even that.
yeah,
Maybe
I
he's
tell you what,
not.
I agree.
Yeah, maybe he's
I
not.
agree.
But like he even said at one point during one of those interviews, he's like, and Baylor, it wasn't the same thing to turn those around as it was an NFL team.
Fuck
So
that, man.
yeah,
He's
I know,
such a
man.
bitch. All right,
Yeah,
actually,
I
let's do
can't
this.
stand him.
I woke up today and I saw that I first shout out to all the people in Discord, Sports Nut. They give Cody hell right now over some Matt Corral stuff. Love it. Keep it
I
coming.
love it.
But the Discord people, the Twitter people, the YouTube people, they half the time give me all the material I need for this show. Like I don't even really need to do any work. I just like, hey, what are these guys talking about? We're gonna talk about it. And he's sending me these messages the night before that's like, he's gonna be on Good Morning Football tomorrow. I was like, oh shit, what's he gonna say? Like, and I started Googling this stuff and I watched this interview and he gave this one with Team 33. He would not shut the fuck up. He sounded like Tony. He just would not stop talking. He even apologized for how much he talked. That's what I would do. The thing that really struck me in this is that he didn't seem remorseful. Not remorseful. I just don't feel like the culpability. Like what he almost
Yeah.
told us was this is that they asked him what he could have done differently and he was like, I should have believed in myself and doubled down more. I was like, dude, that's all you fucking did.
And
Like
by the
he
way,
was
all
like
the
this. It's like a
rumors,
gambler. He's like a
yeah, all
gambler at the table, and you're like, dude, you've lost your house. You've lost. He's
yeah.
like, don't worry. I got it. I got
And
it.
And by the way, all the rumors was that he was sticking his hands in food dishes that weren't his. Like
Yes.
it was him that was micromanaging every single aspect of the organization, even down to the social media team.
Right.
So
Right.
basically, he just admitted that he wasn't a dictator enough. I'm gonna read these super chats and then I'm gonna play these clips that you sent, Tony, and we can get into oh a rat
Oh, he's
mule
lucky.
himself. Yeah. Gammon Brown with the $2 says, I'm so grateful the 49ers still have Jimmy. Appreciate you,
Hey, and
Gammon.
shout out to thank you first. We love Cody loves when other people from other fan bases come on
Oh,
this
yeah.
show. He does love that. And
Yeah.
second is this even shows you that the most capable people make poor decisions.
Yeah.
John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, who like right now, I would take them duo. Kyle Shanahan, I would pick as the number one coach. Like if I had my choice of any coach in the league right now, it'd be Kyle Shanahan. And even these guys potentially made a mistake about kind of pushing
Cameron
towards Trey
McDaniels.
Lance when they had a team that can win right now. And they're almost fortunate. They're not almost
Yeah.
fortunate. Like he said, they should be grateful Jimmy G's there. Who's
Oh,
up
yeah.
next?
Absolutely. And I would pick Mike Daniels, and Mike Daniels was on the coaching staff with Shanahan. So they've had a great coaching tree up there with the 49ers. And
Yeah.
then White Chocolate Express up with the 199 says, looks like the Panthers herpes has popped up again.
Who's that?
Matt
Oh, Matt
Rhule.
Rhule. Oh, yeah.
He's like our herpes. He doesn't. He
Doesn't go
The
comes
away.
cold,
back
the
when you don't want
weather.
him.
You know what? He felt like, I think cold sores come on like when you get stressed. And it was like he could tell we were stressed about the Baltimore loss.
And so
Like,
he was just like, all right, let's go remind them why they moved on from me.
yeah, exactly. Our next
Yeah.
sponsor's got to be Albreva or whatever the
A
cold
brief
sore is.
the cold
Yeah.
sore.
Yeah.
Tony, this is
This
the
got me
clip
fired
that
up. I gave you 2 clips that got me fired up.
I got three that you sent.
Oh, okay, nice.
This is Matt Rhule needed to tell what to do.
You can see it the whole way through. And for me, as a coach, I've always, I've kind of been an offensive line coach. I've been a quarterback coach. I've been a defensive line. Kind of,
Man.
He was a quarterback coach? What the
I
fuck?
don't remember that. Yeah.
be able to look at things and say, hey, that's right. Hey, that's wrong. Try to teach the game holistically to the whole team, not just, hey, my position, my assignment, but how you fit into everything. And if I could go back, the things that maybe I saw that were wrong, or things that I just disagreed with probably along the way, I would probably have addressed them quicker. You get into the NFL, you're dealing with, you're working with a GM, you're working with personnel, you're working with all these different departments. And I had great GMs during my time. I was there for 2.5 years. Scott Fitter and Marty Herney, two of the classiest guys you could ever work with. But I'm saying, as you're getting pulled in all these directions, when you see something wrong with the way a position is playing or something wrong with the game plan, you can see it the whole way.
That was it.
What a bum. That's
so
fine.
what he
That's
is
it.
saying is he didn't have his hands in the process enough.
He's saying
what
that
I'm
he
hearing.
saw problems and he didn't intervene fast enough, i.e. Joe Brady, i.e. not running, whatever it is. But here's the thing, zero accountability here. Zero. He just he just said the one thing I would change in my coaching ability is to believe more in me.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you don't have to say that you're not confident. I know that's what he's trying to do, is project confidence, right? Like, you don't want to come out and say, I am not qualified to do this.
Right.
But that's the same thing as Baker Mayfield saying, we. It's even worse. It's even worse, dude. You hired these fools, and we know you're not an X and O's guys. We know you're not a quarterback coach. We know you didn't know. It's just, he's a fraud.
Dude, it's the same thing that I just identified Baker Mayfield. It's all this talk that ultimately runs around the point that he failed at the task that he was given, and he was not good enough, and he is what ultimately held back this football team. And again,
He's a college coach, dude.
we've had such a mix of people on this team that have been so selfish in the way that they look at things and the way that they carry themselves. And it's just like Matt Rhule is the biggest epitome of that.
Who else
And
is that? I don't even know
but
who else that person is, though, other than
I
him.
think there were times that Teddy Bridgewater lacked a lot of leadership. In his
Maybe he
first
was
year,
right.
we gave
Maybe
him
we were completely. Maybe he was
$63
the
million.
one. Well, I mean, but
Maybe.
maybe he was even right to saying this is like, look, I've been in this game, and this dude ain't it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm talking.
I mean, I
We don't
hate
have to
Teddy
get. We
Bridgewater
don't have
more
to
than
get into the
anybody. So the
weeds on
fact that I'm
Teddy.
trying to,
I'm just saying that, like the fact that we keep on getting these guys that at the end of the day you are able to legitimately question their leadership abilities based on the things that they have said and done. To me, that's not a coincidence, and there's no such thing as a
I think,
coincidence.
well, and the other thing too is just like, what is the rot? What's the saying about the rot? The fish head, the rot starts at the head or goes down. Is that he's the one that brought in every one of these dudes.
Yeah.
He picked Teddy. He picked all of this. This is the problem. Let's go on here. This is more.
Yeah, this is basically he would double down.
Development when there's a relationship there, and so building relationships, telling guys the truth, and then, as I said, being strong. That if I'm as the head coach going to be held accountable for it, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to listen to Coach Vermeil. I'm not going to be told, hey, play this guy. I'm not going to be told, hey, this play's right. Trust me. At the end of the day, if I'm going to be held accountable for it, then I'm going to do it. And I think that, that you have to go through adversity. You have to go through criticism. You have to go through the fire to come out hardened on the other side and have that mindset where you can do it in real time. It's easy to say, but you can do it in real time when you're being pulled in all these positions. Coach Cody would always say, hey, just coach the team. And so, you know what, just go coach the team. And that's just part of this. And this process I'm going through right now of evaluating, and I'm sorry for talking so long. But this process I'm going through of evaluating, hey, what would I do differently?
Get this. Yeah, that's it. Look, at the end of the day, this is a college coach. This is a college coach. And the college coach is the program more than the players are.
Yes.
Right. They are the program more than the players. They go into the living rooms. They have to talk to the parents. They got to convince the parents that their kids are good with them. They become these little mini gods in their own world. But it turns out when you're in the pros, it's like hitting the big leagues in anything is everybody is a professional.
Yeah.
The people that are running the TV department or the social media, they're the best of the best. The this and that is like, and so he's got a God complex. It's like the old nobody in here is gonna know. What was it? It was a Alec Baldwin movie where he's a doctor and he's like, they're like, you have a God complex. He goes, I am God. It's like that's what these guys are. And I hear college coaches all the time talk of this. They don't like losing control because that's what they need at that moment with these malleable kids. He's a fraud. Someone put a con man. Get this fucker out of here.
Imagine what a nightmare a guy like Urban Meyer must have been if you saw how terrible he was as Jaguars head coach. Like, it just shows you the level of power that these college coaches have. They have to talk to boosters. They have to talk to parents. They have to make sure everyone's grades are on point. Like, it's just a whole different world. And by the way, shout out to Eric37 with the $2. He says, are you guys already doing the ice up segment? We might as well, dude. He could be a permanent ice up pick. Tony, I have one that you sent.
Yeah, let's see this last one that made me furious. Oh, this is the best.
I believe in is right. The things that I believe in is right. And, obviously anytime you're rebuilding something, it's going to take some time. But you know what? The core fundamentals, the core philosophy, the core way that when I say I, me and my staff, the core ways that we do things, it's right. And don't ever waver from it. Don't let this shake your confidence. In fact, man, be emboldened. Theo Epstein talks about when he went to the Cubs. Hey, this is going to be. He told everyone, hey, this is going to be a 5-year thing, and we're going to do lots of things you're not going to like. He said, when things got adverse, you have to double down on it. And
even double down.
Did he not remember that Theo Epstein won a World Series with the Red Sox already?
Right, and double down on it. And it might not have worked this time, but I left there saying, hey, you know what I believe in, our philosophy, our way of doing things, our process, it is right. And the next time I coach, I'll go in. I'll
fucking get this fool off of my screen.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
I think when he went on this media tour, man, I think he's getting exposed as just a dude that is perfect for a mid-level college program.
I think he was overpaid for any of the positions he took, right? And listen, I'm not going to sit there and doubt what he did. I know many people will. I know that there's a track record of success in college for him, but when you look at that, there's no part of me that has confidence in what he is as a coach. And the fact that his entire thing is what I would have done differently is I would have been in more control. I wouldn't have trusted the people that I've hired to be in the positions that they are to make the decisions that they've made. And that almost felt like a slight against like Steve Wilkes or something. You know what I mean? Like I would have trusted myself to do this, or I would have or even Ben McAdoo. Like, oh, trust me, this play will work. Like, bro, I mean, you have shown no reason to be, at least to me, to be considered somebody worthy of having any decision-making power. And so that is absolutely hysterical that he's going that route. It's like you said,
the opposite route he should be going.
It's no,
why does he always have to double down on this? Oh, it takes 5 years. Oh, it takes 7 years. Like, it's this dumbass process that he has
said at one point
in his head.
He said at one point, I left them with a good core. Brian Burns, DJ Moore. He said, when I think about Brian Burns, DJ Moore, first of all, he listed 2 players he didn't draft. Then he goes, Icky. He said, J.C. Horn. He's like, oh, and they're going to like, it's like, bro, who gives a fuck? We stink.
If you're the athletic director at a college, are you listening to that guy being completely unapologetic towards everything that lost him football games, and then say, "Oh yeah, I want to"? That guy hasn't learned anything.
Yeah, he can go coach Tulsa. He can go coach Michigan State. He can go. He is not worthy. You know what? I think the fact that Nebraska has already said, "Nah, we ain't like we good on this dude."
I think you're right, Tony. I think the conspiracy is 1000% true. Matt Rhule is having a tough time getting jobs, so he comes on
It's
TV,
like an
on
Urban Meyer
podcast.
moment.
Yeah, he's doing this media tour. He's puffing his chest out, letting you know how good of a coach he is. This dude is an absolute
Fraud.
loyal salesman. He is a fraud. He's an absolute fraud. But listen, can we just have a palate cleanser real quick? Because like I